Wales is a country that is part of the United Kingdom. It is bordered by the Irish Sea to the north and west, England to the east, the Bristol Channel to the south, and the Celtic Sea to the southwest. As of 2021, it had a population of 3.2 million. It has a total area of 21,218 square kilometers and over 2,700 kilometers of coastline. It is largely mountainous with its higher peaks in the north and central areas, including Snowdon, its highest summit. The country lies within the North Temperate Zone and has a changeable, maritime climate. Its capital and largest city is Cardiff. A distinct Welsh culture emerged among the Celtic Britons after the Roman withdrawal from Britain in the 5th century, and Wales was briefly united under Gruffydd ap Llywelyn in 1055. After over 200 years of war, the conquest of Wales by King Edward I of England was completed by 1283. Though Owain Glyndwr led the Welsh revolt against English rule in the early 15th century, and briefly re-established an independent Welsh state with its own national parliament, Welsh, Senedd. In the 16th century, the whole of Wales was annexed by England and incorporated within the English legal system under the Laws in Wales Acts 1535 and 1542. Distinctive Welsh politics developed in the 19th century. Welsh liberalism, exemplified in the early 20th century by David Lloyd George, was displaced by the growth of socialism and the Labour Party. Welsh national feeling grew over the century. A nationalist party, Plaid Cymru, was formed in 1925, and the Welsh Language Society in 1962. A governing system of Welsh devolution is employed in Wales, of which the most major step was the formation of the Senedd, Welsh Parliament, formerly the National Assembly for Wales, in 1998, responsible for a range of devolved policy matters. At the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, development of the mining and metallurgical industries transformed the country from an agricultural society into an industrial one. The South Wales coalfields exploitation caused a rapid expansion of Wales's population. 2/3 of the population live in South Wales, including Cardiff, Swansea, Newport, and the nearby valleys. The eastern region of North Wales has about a sixth of the overall population, with Wrexham being the largest northern city. The remaining parts of Wales are sparsely populated. Since decline of the country's traditional extractive and heavy industries, the public sector, light and service industries, and tourism play major roles in its economy. Agriculture in Wales is largely livestock-based, making Wales a net exporter of animal produce, contributing towards national agricultural self-sufficiency. Both Welsh and English are official languages. A majority of the population of Wales speaks English. Welsh is the dominant language in parts of the north and west, with a total of 538,300 Welsh speakers across the entire country. Wales has 4 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, of which 3 are in the north. Wales is a generally mountainous country on the western side of central southern Great Britain. It is about 270 kilometers north to south. The oft-quoted size of Wales is about 20,779 kilometers square. Wales is bordered by England to the east and by sea in all other directions, the Irish Sea to the north and west, St George's Channel and the Celtic Sea to the southwest and the Bristol Channel to the south. Wales has about 2,700 kilometers of coastline, along the mean high water mark, including the mainland, Anglesey, and Holyhead. Over 50 islands lie off the Welsh mainland, the largest being Anglesey, in the northwest. Much of Wales's diverse landscape is mountainous, particularly in the north and central regions. The mountains were shaped during the last ice age, the Devonian glaciation. The highest mountains in Wales are in Snowdonia, Aberaeron, of which 5 are over 1,000 meters. The highest of these is Snowdon, Yr Wydfa, at 1,085 meters. The 14 Welsh mountains, or 15 if including Carn Gwenllian, often discounted because of its low topographic prominence, over 3,910 meters high, are known collectively as the Welsh 3000s and are located in a small area in the northwest. The highest outside the 3000s is Arran Fordwy, at 905 meters in the south of Snowdonia. The Brecon Beacons are in the south, highest point Pen y Fan at 886 meters and are joined by the Cambrian Mountains in mid-Wales, highest point Pumluman, at 752 meters. Wales has 3 national parks, Snowdonia, Brecon Beacons, and Pembrokeshire coast, Arthurdeer Penfro. It has 5 areas of outstanding natural beauty: Anglesey, the Cuisine Range and Dee Valley, the Gower Peninsula, the Llyn Peninsula, and the Wye Valley. The Gower Peninsula was the first area in the United Kingdom to be designated as an area of outstanding natural beauty in 1956. As of 2019, the coastline of Wales had 40 blue flag beaches, 3 blue flag marinas and 1 blue flag boat operator. The south and west coasts of Wales, along with the Irish and Cornish coasts, are frequently blasted by Atlantic westerlies or southwesterlies that, over the years, have sunk and wrecked many vessels. In 1859, over 110 ships were destroyed off the coast of Wales in a hurricane that saw more than 800 lives lost across Britain. The greatest single loss occurred with the sinking of the Royal Charter off Anglesey, in which 459 people died. The 19th century saw over 100 vessels lost, with an average loss of 78 sailors per year. Wartime action caused losses near Holyhead, Milford Haven, and Swansea. Because of offshore rocks and unlit islands, Anglesey and Pembrokeshire are still notorious for shipwrecks, most notably the Sea Empress oil spill in 1996. The first border between Wales and England was zonal, apart from around the River Wye, which was the first accepted boundary. Offa's Dyke was supposed to form an early distinct line, but this was thwarted by Grufford ap Llewellyn, who reclaimed swathes of land beyond the dike. The Act of Union of 1536 formed a linear border stretching from the mouth of the Dee to the mouth of the Wye. Even after the Act of Union, many of the borders remained vague and movable until the Welsh Sunday Closing Act of 1881, which forced local businesses to decide which country they fell within to accept either the Welsh or English law. Wales lies within the North Temperate Zone. It has a changeable, maritime climate and is one of the wettest countries in Europe. Welsh weather is often cloudy, wet and windy, with warm summers and mild winters. Wales's wildlife is typical of Britain with several distinctions. Because of its long coastline, Wales hosts a variety of seabirds. The coasts and surrounding islands are home to colonies of gannets, Manx shearwater, puffins, kittiwakes, shags, and razorbills. In comparison, with 60% of Wales above the 150m contour, the country also supports a variety of upland habitat birds, including raven and ring ouzel, 106, 107. Birds of prey include the merlin, hen harrier, and the red kite, a national symbol of Welsh wildlife. In total, more than 200 different species of bird have been seen at the RSPB Reserve at Conwy, including seasonal visitors. Larger mammals, including brown bears, wolves, and wildcats, died out during the Norman period. Today, mammals include shrews, voles, badgers, otters, stoats, weasels, hedgehogs, and 15 species of bat. 2 species of small rodent, the yellow-necked mouse and the dormouse, are of special Welsh note, being found at the historically undisturbed border area. The pine marten, which has been sighted occasionally, has been reintroduced in parts of Wales since 2015, having previously not been officially recorded since the 1950s. The polecat was nearly driven to extinction in Britain, but hung on in Wales and is now rapidly spreading. Feral goats can be found in Snowdonia. In March 2021, Natural Resources Wales granted a license to release up to 6 beavers in the Dyfi Valley, the first official beaver release in Wales. The waters of southwest Wales of Gower, Pembrokeshire, and Cardigan Bay attract marine animals, including basking sharks, Atlantic grey seals, leatherback turtles, dolphins, porpoises, jellyfish, crabs, and lobsters. Pembrokeshire and Ceredigion, in particular, are recognised as an area of international importance for bottlenose dolphins, and New Quay has the only summer residence of bottlenose dolphins in the whole of the UK. Freshwater fish of note include char, eel, salmon, shad, sparling, and Arctic char, while the guinead is unique to Wales, found only in Bala Lake. Wales is known for its shellfish, including cockles, limpet, mussels, and periwinkles. Herring, mackerel, and hake are the more common of the country's marine fish. The north-facing high grounds of Snowdonia support a relict pre-glacial flora including the iconic Snowdon lily, Gaggia ceratina, and other alpine species such as Saxifraga cespitosa, Saxifraga oppositifolia, and Silene acaulis. Wales has a number of plant species not found elsewhere in the UK, including the spotted rockrose Tuberaria gutata on Anglesey and Draba azordes on the Gower. Over the last 250 years, Wales has been transformed from a predominantly agricultural country to an industrial and then to a post-industrial economy. In the 1950s, Wales's GDP was twice as big as Ireland's. By the 2020s, Ireland's economy was 4 times that of Wales. Since the Second World War, service sector has come to account for majority of jobs, a feature typifying most advanced economies. Rail transport in Wales includes the Wales and Borders franchise, which is overseen by the Welsh Government, with most passenger services operated by Transport for Wales Rail. The Cardiff region has its own urban rail network. Beaching cuts in the 1960s mean that most of the remaining network is geared toward east-west travel, connecting with the Irish seaports for ferries to Ireland. Services between North and South Wales operate through the English cities of Chester and Hereford and towns of Shrewsbury, Gower for Oswestry and along the Welsh Marches Line, with trains on the Heart of Wales line from Swansea to Llandovery, Llandrindod and Knighton, connecting with the Welsh Marches Line at Craven Arms. Trains in Wales are mainly diesel-powered, but the South Wales Main Line branch of the Great Western Main Line used by services from London Paddington to Cardiff is undergoing electrification, although the programme has experienced significant delays and cost overruns. A north-south railway has been suggested to better link North and South Wales. Air and ferries. Cardiff Airport is the international airport of Wales. Providing links to European, African and North American destinations, it is about 19 kilometres southwest of Cardiff city centre, in the Vale of Glamorgan. Intra-Wales flights used to run between Anglesey, Valley and Cardiff, and were operated since 2017 by Eastern Airways. As of 2022, those flights are no longer available. Other internal flights operate to Northern England, Scotland and Northern Ireland. Wales has 4 commercial ferry ports. Regular ferry services to Ireland operate from Holyhead, Pembroke Dock and Fishguard. The Swansea to Cork service was cancelled in 2006, reinstated in March 2010, and withdrawn again in 2012. The population of Wales doubled from 587,000 in 1801 to 1,163,000 in 1851 and had reached 2,421,000 by 1911. Most of the increase came in the coal mining districts, especially Glamorganshire, which grew from 71,000 in 1801 to 232,000 in 1851 and 1,122,000 in 1911. Part of this increase can be attributed to the demographic transition seen in most industrializing countries during the Industrial Revolution, as death rates dropped and birth rates remained steady. However, there was also large-scale migration into Wales during the Industrial Revolution. The English were the most numerous group, but there were also considerable numbers of Irish and smaller numbers of other ethnic groups, 184, including Italians, who migrated to South Wales. Wales also received immigration from various parts of the British Commonwealth of Nations in the 20th century, and African, Caribbean and Asian communities add to the ethnocultural mix, particularly in urban Wales. Many of these self-identify as Welsh. The population in 1972 stood at 2.74 million and remained broadly static for the rest of the decade. However, in the early 1980s, the population fell due to net migration out of Wales. Since the 1980s, net migration has generally been inward and has contributed more to population growth than natural change. The resident population of Wales in 2021, according to the census, was 3,107,500, an increase of 1.4% over 2011. A decreased change from the 5% increase between 2001 and 2011. Wales accounted for 5.2% of the population of England and Wales in 2021. Wales has 7 cities: Cardiff, Newport, Swansea, Wrexham, Bangor, St Asaph and St David's. Wrexham, North Wales's largest settlement, became Wales's newest and 7th city in September 2022. Welsh is an official language in Wales. Both Welsh and English are also official languages of the Senedd. The proportion of the Welsh population able to speak Welsh language fell from 50% in 1901 to 43.5% in 1911 and continued to fall to a low of 18.9% in 1981. According to 2021 census, Welsh-speaking population of Wales aged 3 or older was 17.8%, 538,300 people, and nearly three-quarters of the population in Wales said they had no Welsh language skills. English is spoken by almost all people in Wales and is the main language in most of the country. Since Poland joined the European Union, Wales has seen a significant increase in Polish immigrants. This has made Polish the most common main language in Wales after English and Welsh, at 0.7% of the population. Forms of Christianity have dominated religious life in what is now Wales for more than 1,400 years. The 2021 census recorded that 46.5% had no religion. Non-Christian religions are small in Wales, making up approximately 2.7% of the population. Traditional Welsh dishes include lava bread, made from Porphyra umbilicalis, an edible seaweed, bara brith, fruit bread, cawl, a lamb stew, cawl sennin, leek soup, and Welsh cakes. Cockles are sometimes served as a traditional breakfast with bacon and lava bread. Although Wales has its own traditional food and has absorbed much of the cuisine of England, Welsh diets now owe more to the countries of India, China, and the United States. Chicken tikka masala is the country's favorite dish, while hamburgers and Chinese food outsell fish and chips as takeaways. Although the Welsh nation would not arise until the Middle Ages, the territory of Wales was permanently settled from the end of last ice age onwards. These first farmers left many impressive funerary monuments, as well as settlement sites that speak to a dispersed culture. With the arrival of the Bronze Age, the Great Orme in North Wales became Britain's premier producer of copper, one of the key ores for smelting bronze. It is likely that the wealth of mineral resources in Britain, and especially Wales, attracted the Roman invasion, but by this time the island had become distinctively Celtic in culture, and the Neolithic population was largely replaced. It was this Iron Age Celtic culture, and their common language, that were called the Britons by the Romans. With the departure of the Romans, Britain fractured into various kingdoms. Despite this, there is a sense in which the Roman withdrawal of 383 created a post-Roman nation of Britons, with Magnus Maximus proclaimed Roman Emperor in Britannia and Gaul. Although long before the term Siwe Marwai, the Welsh term for the Welsh, had been adopted, the concept of a British people, from which the Welsh would emerge, was created here. Encroachment by Germanic Anglo-Saxon settlers gradually displaced the indigenous culture and language of the Britons, and one group of these Britons became isolated by the geography of the Western Peninsula, bounded by the sea and English neighbours. It was these English neighbours who named the land Wallia, and the people Welsh. The people of Wallia, medieval Wales, remained divided into separate kingdoms that fought with each other as much as they fought their English neighbours. Neither were the communities homogeneously Welsh. Place name, historical records, and archaeological evidence point to coastal Viking Norse settlement in places such as Swansea, Fishguard and Anglesey, and Saxons settled inland amongst the Welsh in places such as Prestine. In the 10th century, Hywel ap Cadell, later Hywel Dda, formed the kingdom of Deheubarth from inheritances in Dyfed and Saesalug, and then gained control of the kingdoms of Gwynedd and Powys in 942. With control of nearly all the territory of Wales, he codified Welsh law, a law code that survived the later fracture of his kingdom, and that became a significant step in the creation of the nation. With a common culture and an external threat, the kingdoms of Wales began to see themselves as one people. A century later the kingdom of Gwynedd was in ascendancy, and Gruffydd ap Llywelyn subdued all opposition by 1057, becoming the only king to unite all of Wales and parts of England on the border. Thus, from about 1057 until his death in 1063, the whole of Wales recognised the kingship of Gruffydd ap Llywelyn. For about 7 brief years, Wales was one, under one ruler, a feat with neither precedent nor successor. The kingdom did not last, and Gruffydd met his death as a result of a surprise attack by Tostig, brother of the English king, Harold. After Gruffydd's death, Harold married his widow, but she would be widowed again by the Norman invasion of England in 1066. The Normans followed their invasion of England with incursions into Wales, forming the semi-independent Norman Welsh Marches, from the French for borderlands, and dividing them from the unconquered Pura Wallia. The fortunes of Welsh Marcher lords and various Welsh princes ebbed and flowed, until Llywelyn ab Iorwerth, Llywelyn the Great, forced all other Welsh princes to submit to him in 1216. Yet Wales was divided again after his death, and it was left for his grandson, Llywelyn ap Gruffydd, to secure the supremacy once more, recognised as Prince of Wales by the English king, Henry III, in the Treaty of Montgomery of 1267. Relations with Henry's successor, Edward I, broke down and led to a war of conquest, concluding in 1283 with English victory. The following year, the Statute of Rhuddlan ended Welsh independence. Wales was divided between Principality, ruled by Edward, and the Marches, and ruled by feudal marcher lords. This persisted, despite the Welsh rebellion under Owain Glynwr of 1400 to 1415, until the rise of the Tudors, with Welsh support. With the Laws in Wales Acts of Henry VIII, the Welsh became full citizens in the Kingdom of England, with parliamentary representation. The Welsh border was also formally defined and the territory reunited. In 1707, the Act of Union created the Kingdom of Great Britain. The Industrial Revolution and the beginning of empire led to the rapid increase in mining and exploitation of Welsh natural materials, metals, coal and slate. The population of Wales expanded rapidly and Wales moved to the centre of the British economy, but the changes bred resentment, this time towards industrialists and not the English state. Meanwhile, a series of religious revivals transformed the character of the nation, beginning a tradition of nonconformism. This carried over into the political sphere too. The rapid industrialisation of parts of Wales gave rise to strong and radical Welsh working-class movements, which led to the Merthyr Rising of 1831, the widespread support for Chartism, and the Newport Rising of 1839. Strong liberal traditions were forged and later replaced by socialism. Since 1922, Wales has voted Labour in every general election. From the mid-19th century until 1914, Wales experienced a strengthened political culture, religious and cultural revival, renewed interest in Welsh literature, the revival of Eisteddfodadar. There was a thriving economy, a renewed interest in Welsh language and music, nonconformist Christianity, and the emergence of strong national identity, along with the founding of many national institutions. However, the period also saw the publication of a report on education that became known as the Treachery of the Blue Books. The report blamed Welsh language and nonconformism for poor educational standards and led to a requirement for bilingual education. This fed the rise of the Welsh nationalist movement, expressed in the Cymru FYDD movement, which advocated for greater autonomy and recognition of Welsh identity within the United Kingdom. 49. Calls for devolution grew over the course of a century, and in 1998 the Government of Wales Act created a devolved Welsh Assembly for the first time, now renamed the Senedd or Welsh Parliament.